Hi everyone, I hope you are doing well. I'm Sarah with Divine Love Healing. If you are new, welcome to my channel. And for those of you who have supported me from the beginning, I am so very grateful for you. And I can't believe I'm about to utter these words, but I am here to bring you a walkthrough explanation of my 9th self-created deck. I think it was about a year ago that I released Triggers and Shadows Oracle and Sacred Union Tarot, and I've had a lot of stuff happen in between, and I'm here now with, I think it's probably my favorite deck so far that I've created. It's just beautiful, and for the most part, you know, the images are very uplifting and whimsical and just the holidays and warm, right? I mean, some of the card meanings, you guys know, they're not going to be pretty, and we'll get to that obviously later, but here to walk through the Christmas tarot with you. And the reason I do these walkthroughs, number one, I think I've always enjoyed these videos on YouTube. Love seeing the decks that people create, and it's a great way to see the whole thing before you buy it. You know, that way you know if the energy resonates, if the images resonate, if you like it or not. You get to see it. Number two, just like many of us who you know, are also self-creating decks, creating a booklet to go along with it is just it's very, very time consuming, number one, and it drives up the cost when you are kind of self-publishing or publishing through these you know, card places where they charge you like per item printed. So it's a pretty steep cost already to have one deck printed, but to add a booklet on top of it is a lot. So you can always go back and reference this video. It will give you, you know, some insight again into why I chose, not only just chose the images, but it'll, you know, help offer some explanation about each of the cards if you want like a mini tarot lesson. I will timestamp this for major arcana and for the various suits. It is a traditional deck, other than there are no knight court cards, there are maidens instead. And really the main reason for that is I just was not finding any images that were resonating with me for the knights. So the maidens were very, I thought, very cute, very whimsical, and a lot of fun. So we'll get into those as we go along. And if you'd like to purchase this deck right now, through December 12th, I am offering it 10% off if you purchase it through me. And it's $49.95, so you would get 10% off, and I will do $5 shipping within the US. And if you're international, we can look at the shipping costs for there. And then there's also tax added where applicable. So if you click the Make Playing Cards link below, you will not get the 10% off, and you will pay more on shipping. I do have a limited number on hand right now, but contact me. You can contact me via email below. You can send me a message on Facebook or Instagram and let me know you're interested, and we will work out the details. So without further ado, we're going to walk through the Christmas tarot. And again, most of the images are tied to Christmas. You guys will see some of them are just more winter, have a winter vibe, or just like a holiday. Some kind of have a New Year's vibe. But for the most part, it's a Christmas deck. So there will be some traditional Christmas characters that show up, and then in other images it'll just be scenes of Christmas with regular people. So I wanted to do kind of a mix. So we're going to start with the major arcana. Okay, first is the Fool. You guys, if you're familiar with tarot, the Fool is typically depicted as someone taking a leap of faith. Literally, like their arms are out, spread, and they're about to jump, it looks like. I found some images like that, but this one just really just stood out to me for some reason. I just loved her innocent energy. It's like this wishful, like, I'm going to put this out into the universe, and I'm putting this wish out there and this hope, right? And I'm going to hope it comes true. Whereas when you get further on, and you guys will see, you actually start in the journey, the journey of tarot, I mean, you start taking action and implementing things versus just putting it out there. But she's got this, you know, this innocent vibe to her, and she's like, I'm just going to put this out there and see what happens. And then when you go to the next card, which is the Magician, the girl is actually out here. She realizes she has everything she needs within her to manifest and attract. She has all these tools. She's got this. She's connecting to the divine. unfortunately, because of the way the orientation of the cards, that happened, I wasn't able to get the full image that was on here because it's cut off. But Santa's sleigh is up in the sky, and so she's holding out this beacon, like, to connect with this higher, unknown, like, kind of like fantasy type of thing, like, oh, Santa, I believe, and I'm gonna manifest this in. So I just loved this card and the image for this card for that reason. The High Priestess is number 2 in the tarot, and she's just got all this wisdom, right? She's like taking the high road. She's on her high, like, in her, I don't want to say like throne, kind of like this high throne, like she's above everyone. She's you can't see the whole image again, but there's a fire, there's like a roaring fire there, and she's just relaxed, poised. She's calling in the owl, right, which is an animal totem that can have meaning for you when you're using this card or pulling this card. But yeah, she's just she's this, like, the priestess of wisdom and knowledge, and just starting to really bring that in, right, manifesting, from going from the Fool to the Magician to, like, boom, she's like in her goddess energy. So we're going to do 3 and 4 together. 3 and 4 are the Empress and the Emperor. Typically the divine masculine, divine feminine energy. So of course we've got Mrs. Claus and Santa Claus. Could not find a better image of Mrs. Claus, unfortunately. But I love this one because you can tell, like, she's just, that energy is just very nurturing, very giving. She's, putting the presents, and just, there seems to be very motherly energy there. Santa Claus is, the ultimate, I guess, like, authoritative figure. He's a leader. And so tied to Christmas, these obviously was why I chose these images. Okay, Hierophant is number 5. This is probably one of my favorite images in the whole deck. It's just so stunning. I really wanted to incorporate Jesus somehow, definitely in the deck, but for this, the Hierophant, because it is that spiritual guide, that divine, fifth dimensional energy, that Christ consciousness, that also, the spiritual union within you. It can be religious factors. So obviously with the Christmas tree and the glow, it was just the perfect image for the Hierophant. The Lovers is number 6. The Lovers can have dual meaning. These could just literally be a couple, 2 people in love hugging in front of the Christmas tree. It could be kind of a clandestine, like somebody has a choice and they're, starting to maybe stray from their partners, depending on the other cards you get in the deck. The Lovers is a card that could go either way. The Chariot is pretty much exactly what it says. So you guys are, probably not surprised that I used Santa's sleigh for that one. The Chariot is very fast-moving energy. It is forward motion, forward progress, movement. It can mean literal movement, vehicle, like that type of thing. I usually say also it's something's going to happen pretty quickly when you see this card. Strength, number 8. So the Strength card pretty much, always has a lion associated with it. I wanted to have a live lion, but finding a lion in front of a Christmas tree was not exactly going to be an easy undertaking. So I was thrilled when I found at least this guy with the wreath around his neck. So Strength is tied to Leo season. It's tied to taming the beast. It's tied to just that resilience within you. I think it's also tied to infinity. It's just a beautiful, beautiful card. Very, very, well, no pun intended, but it's strong. It's strong energy, and it's resilience and tenacity. Like, well, and I love that too, because it's like you're made of stone. Like, you're going to power through this, right? That resolve. This is another one of my favorite ones, the Hermit. I love this because she's like, in her own little nook there. She's got her journal. She's kind of like fantasizing, looking off into space. The Christmas lights are there. But the phrase is like you're going in hermit mode. It's solitude. It's energy of solitude. You want to be alone, and you want to be within your own energy and really kind of do some soul searching. 10 is the Wheel of Fortune. So I thought it was perfect to depict that with a wreath. It's literally what it says. It's a card of good luck, fortune, forward movement, the wheels turning. And for me, if I was reading this and depending on the other cards that come out, I would say, there's a lot of darkness around, but there's this like beacon of light. And so something's starting to turn into your favor when you see this card. 11 is Justice. This one's a little bit dark, but I wasn't finding really an image. I wanted something with the scales. And to me, this guy kind of does look like Jesus, and he's got the red on. And, given what happened to Jesus, obviously justice, right? He's looking very angry. But the Justice card is about balance. It's about balancing your masculine and feminine energy. It's about, it could be, in this context, balancing the good and evil, the dark, the light within and the shadow side. So, some other decks, I may not look at it that way, right, based on the image. But in this one, with the other cards that come out, I might say, yeah, there might be some shadow work that somebody needs to do that's out of balance. Something's out of balance. So 12 is typically the Hanged Man. The irony is that it wasn't planned that way, but in my Sacred Union Tarot deck and in this one, they both ended up being the Hanged Woman. But it was just the perfect image that I found of a woman doing trapeze on a holiday show. She's got like a gingerbread costume on. But this is kind of like you're stuck, you're not moving forward, but you're in this contemplation mode. Like you're really kind of like figuring out what's going on. Where you're going. It looks like she does have somebody pulling on her there. He may be holding her, he may be pulling. So, depending on the context of the cards, that could be a factor that you read into and you see that image. Death is number 13. There were some different ones that I thought about going with here, but I loved this one because for me, the Death card is about death and rebirth. And, we go through so many deaths in our lives, not just the literal death when we actually die or we lose people to a death, but, the death of relationships, the death of jobs, the death of situations, the death of who we are, right? As a person and how we evolve and change and, transform. So for me, I love this because the tree is obviously dead, right? There's no leaves on it or anything, but there's light. There's stuff that it's like it's becoming alive again. 14 is Temperance. Temperance is a card about patience and divine timing. Our favorite, right? So for me, I just love this one because she's opening a Christmas gift and it's a watch. So that's like the divine timing card for me. Like it's not time, be patient, like it's coming. The Devil. I really love this one. There were a few, like I said, that I went back and forth with, but I ultimately chose this image because the devil, in the tarot, it is about our ego, our fears, our shadow self. It's ultimately, what is holding us back within us, right? It's, anytime you'll see it in the traditional tarot with that, if there's an actual devil, a lot of times there'll be like a person in a cage, but the cage is unlocked or they have the key right there and they don't realize they have the ability to get out. And so, she's obviously self-medicating. She's doing this to herself, but also, if she feels trapped, like there is like this door is unlocked. It's not like she's locked in. She can go out of this situation. So I thought this was very powerful for the Devil. And, if you're doing this in connection with a holiday reading, it might just be like, there might be a tendency for you to like get too stressed out, around relatives, and are there other ways to like cope with it? There's a few other cards in there you guys will see that kind of has that vibe. The Tower. The Tower is about the destruction and something burning to the ground and being like reborn, right? So this is a Christmas tree, a pine tree on fire, presumably going to burn to the ground and then rise from the ashes. The Star. Oh, this is like one of my favorite ones too. I had to include the Nativity and that because it's just, the Star is about alignment. It's about destiny. so many beautiful things. But I think, ultimately, because it's the Christmas tarot, it was just the actual meaning of, like, you get into the whole, the whole story about Christmas and how they were guided and just all these beautiful things. So, if you're doing a reading with this deck, obviously you can do it in the traditional sense of what the star means, or you can look more into the religious side of it. If you are into, if you are into Christian concepts, Christianity, and those types of things, these types of cards, when you get the Hierophant, those, could have certain meanings to you that you want to go with. And I always tell people there's no right or wrong in there's traditional meanings. You're not going to get the Devil card and say, oh, it's the Empress. There's a traditional system, but for the most part, in my mind, what your intuition tells you, this is a divination tool. And so if something comes through that you attribute a certain card to a certain something or an image, then, this is just merely a guide for you guys. So you could see my creative process, but, I love to see how other people do their readings, and everybody has their own unique style. So the next one is the Moon. I love this one. Obviously, there's this little girl, and she's looking kind of forlorn, kind of depressed. She's out in the cold. The Moon has an energy. It's one of those, for me, when I get the Moon card, a lot of times it's about the celestial cycles that are going on right now. Is it a full moon? Is it a new moon? Is the moon in a certain sign? Is there an eclipse going on? That, to me, it can be a timing card, but it can also be like about moodiness. It can be about, something being in the dark, something being hidden, feelings being hidden, things like that. 19 is the Sun, which is a lot more vibrant of an energy. And the Sun is just one of the happiest cards in the deck. You can see it looks like they're getting their Christmas pictures taken, and they've got the tree in the background, or it looks like the mantle. They've got like some Christmas stuff on the mantle, and they've just got their happy family. It's just a beautiful, beautiful card. 20 is Judgment, which I love this because it's like you're at this altar. It's like Judgment Day. It's a card about karma. It's a card about renewal. So you can look at it as like it's your judgment, it's your time, your karma coming up, right? That's what that darkness is that needs to go, or something is about to be reborn. So the Judgment is one of those cards that, depending on what else is coming out with it, is how I usually interpret the card. So the last of the major arcana is the World, and I couldn't believe, you guys, some of the images that came out and how perfect they were. Spirit made my job so much easier to pull this deck together in a short period of time, because this is a Christmas ornament that looks like the world. And you can't make this stuff up. You guys know that's what I love to say. But the world can literally be about traveling the world, but often it's about closing out cycles, ending cycles, giving someone the world, and completion. And that is the completion of the major arcana there. So now we're going to move into the Suit of Cups. Cups is the suit of emotions, water energy, and love. So Ace of Cups, I just thought I loved this one because there's like this little Santa outfit and the hot cocoa, and it's just a nice winter kind of Christmas image. The Ace of Cups is the start, the beginning. It's like offering someone a cup, right? Offering someone an offer, offering them, it could be like somebody getting asked out, or somebody asked for a relationship, but just the commencement, meeting somebody. It's just a beautiful, beautiful energy. Okay, so we've got that. We've got Two of Cups, which I love this because the Two of Cups is a partnership card. It's just like a relationship card, something that's developing, closeness that's coming, and it's like they're laying under the Christmas tree or by the Christmas tree together. So this is beautiful. Three of Cups. This actually is the same image I used in Sacred Union Tarot. I looked and I thought this was just the most perfect one because it looks like they're at a celebration. They're actually toasting. I think there's 3 cups in it. 3 of Cups is a celebration card. Proposal, marriage. It can kind of be a little bit, if you got this one in the Devil, together, especially with the image of the devil that I had in there with the woman drinking. That might be something like, hey, watch, you or somebody that around you is, needs to be watching the alcohol they're consuming. Four of Cups. Four of Cups is an energy about, it's like not realizing what you have in front of you. It's like wanting more. It's like, or feeling like, oh, what I had in the past was so much better. This is just a small present, but I had something else, or I wanted something different, right? It's that energy of like, I really was hoping I was going to get XYZ as a gift, but I got this. Four and Five of Cups are sort of similar, but the Five of Cups, is more of like a missed opportunity, missing someone. This one I get, it's like she's looking out the window, wanting someone to be there with her, and she's missing them. So that's a little bit more of a, Five of Cups for me is a little bit more of a forlorn energy, than just not, realizing like, oh, I should have more. It's like, this is you're not being fulfilled or stable within yourself and wanting like more things outside of you. This is like literally like a breakup, like you're missing someone. And Six of Cups is a reunion card. It can be about nostalgia, and it can be about childhood issues too. But for me, especially in this deck with going, from this, like she's missing someone, Six of Cups is a reunion. And the cup that's in this one says, all I want for Christmas is you. So that to me is more tied to the reunion energy, or all I want for Christmas is, and you can fill in the blank. You have that nostalgia energy that you're going back and looking at and wishing that you had something else. Seven of Cups is an energy of fantasy and illusion and opportunities, right? So she's like holding out her hand, like, look at what I have. Like, I have all these things. Well, there's nothing in her hand, right? So that's kind of where the fantasy comes in. It's like, she's like, I've got this. What does she have? I mean, it's like, what's in her head? So Seven of Cups is it can be kind of a complicated energy. It just depends on what other cards are coming out with it. Eight of Cups is an energy of walking away from something that no longer serves you. And so I absolutely love this one. I mean, this woman is in the forest, it's snowing, and she's got her back, and she's like on her way out. She's like, I'm walking away. Whatever it is she's leaving behind, she's gone. Nine of Cups, on the other hand, is, after you get through that Eight of Cups, walking away, this is no longer serving me, whatever the situation is, it's not good. You're walking to find yourself again, right? And so then when you get to the Nine, it's like you've got all this like love for yourself and joy, and it's like she's literally, and I know you can't. I don't think she has it. She doesn't have a drink in her hand in the image. She's literally just kind of lying there and just like so happy in her own energy, and that's what Nine of Cups is about. It's about joy, and it's about light, and it's about self-love, if I didn't already say that. 10 of Cups, that is like the completion of, the ultimate love, right? So you've got the self-love here, and then it's like moving into the 10 of Cups, it's like you're able to bring that motherly love, that new life into the world, and have this complete, fulfillment of your dreams. And for a lot of people, that would be, might be having a child, and it could be, just having other things come to fruition. But for this one, I just love that image. Page of Cups. Pages are very childlike energy. Pages are about communication, and they're about, again, for me, it's like the more childlike energy, if depending on the reading you're doing. If you're doing like a romance reading, and the person, your client's dealing with shows up as a page, that's not gonna, they're not gonna be very emotionally mature or ready for commitment, right? The Page of Cups, though, could be an offer. If you've got the Ace of Cups, and you've got Two of Cups, and you've got Ace of Pentacles, and some other cards that indicate something solid and new is coming in, Page of Cups could be that this person is ready to say, they have unspoken feelings and they're ready to come forward. But I just love this because he's just, this sweet little boy, and he's with the dog, and it's just a very loving, childlike energy there. So the Maiden of Cups is next. Again, maidens are taking the place of knights in this deck. So I just love this. She just has this just sweet energy about her. And the bear, if you can't see it, it says, me to you. So it's like she's giving this, she's like about to hand this gift over, right? And she's still kind of got this innocence about her, but she's a little bit further along than the page, but she's not quite a queen, right? She's not showing up, or a king, if you want to look at it, not tying any gender to it, because we all have masculine and feminine energies within us. But she is showing up kind of this innocent, like, romantic gesture. But she's obviously, not old enough or not maybe mature enough for that full commitment. Queen of Cups. This is Mother Mary. So I had to do that when I saw this image. Just wanted to make her this ultimate, mother loving energy. And the King of Cups, I did not choose a religious figure for that. I loved this picture. This is a father and his daughter, and they're decorating the tree, and she's sitting on his lap, and they have such, you can't really see it here, but just looks of joy on their face, and there's lights like shining, streaming over them, and she's kissing his cheek. And the King of Cups, it's like that ultimate emotionally stable, masculine. And also, you could be dealing with a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. When you get into that, if you look further into the energies of each of the suits. So that is Cups. Next up is Pentacles. Okay. Ace of Pentacles. This is a solid, tangible new beginning, an offer of some sort. Pentacles tie to physical, tangible reality. So often career and finances, home, those types of things. But if you're doing a romance reading, an Ace of Pentacles is a good card because it's somebody coming forward to start something strong with a foundation and with an intention. Pentacles energy is stable for the most part. I mean, some of the cards you'll see have different energies about them, but Pentacles are solid, they're real, and they're not etheric, okay? Like some of these, like Swords and some of these other ones. So I just thought this was beautiful. This looks like an ornament, and the tree is like within it, and it's just great for a pentacle, because pentacles, sometimes they're depicted as coins. Two of Pentacles is about balancing, juggling too many different things. So we've got him juggling the two ornaments. Again, this is one that I saw it and I was like, you can't make this up. Okay, this is Two of Pentacles, sold. But yeah, it's about, you've got too much going on, too many priorities, and you've got to try to balance it out. Three of Pentacles is a teamwork card. I love this one because it's the three wise men. Obviously, it's a Christmas tree ornament. So you've got that, meaning. Again, it's one of those cards, like the Hierophant and Justice and Judgment and some of these other ones, the Star, that, if you want to do something in a more biblical or religious context, you can, and or you can do the traditional sense, which is the teamwork, putting in the effort to bring something solid to fruition. Four of Pentacles, it can be an energy of overspending. And I love this one because obviously she just bought a bunch of presents and there's 4 of them. I was like, okay, that's perfect. But it can be, sometimes it can be you're being too frugal, but sometimes it's like you need to be more frugal. So it just depends on, the context of the other cards that come out. 5 of Pentacles is an energy of being left out in the cold. So it's hard to see here, but there's a guy who's literally, he's got a flashlight and looks very cold and snowy, and he's got a ways to go before he gets to the village where the lights are. But he's been left out in the cold, he's on his own. This could be like, the end of a relationship, or somebody, rejecting you. I mean, it's that kind of energy, but it can be tied to a job change. 5 is a number of changing. So something happening there. 6 of Pentacles is a card of balance, and I loved that there were 6 cookies and they're in a row. So but it can be, in a relationship context, about balance, equal give and take. But it can just be coming into your own. You know, Six of Pentacles for me is kind of it's the energy of the hexagon. And that is like you're coming into full alignment and imbalance within yourself. Seven of Pentacles, this is the card of seeds being planted. So she's looking a little bit frustrated, right? She's kind of holding this like, all right, where is this? Like, I've got, you know, I've done all this work and I'm holding these things and they're lit, but like, I don't have the results. Like, you know, in the context of putting up the Christmas decorations, it's like, the tree's not up. Like, oh, I have this, I've started it, but it's not done. It's not, when is it ever going to get done? So the Seven of Pentacles is a very slow energy, and it can be about patience, and it can be about waiting to reap the rewards. Depending on the cards you know that you get that come out, it could be that she's about to reap her rewards because she's holding it in her hand, but she kind of looks frustrated. So in my mind, when I was creating this, she hasn't gotten there yet. That's probably because there's some more work that needs to be done. So here, Eight of Pentacles, she's wrapping presents, and it looks like she's at a work table, and like literally, like Eight of Pentacles is a card about studying more, doing some more work on yourself, self-improvement, you know, learning a new trade, something like that. But then when you get to the Nine of Pentacles, it can be the self-employment card. It can be, it's a card about, abundance. It's about being like within yourself, like having everything you need. It's about just you've reaped the rewards that were planted back with the Seven, if that makes sense. But I love this because remember how in the Seven, she's like holding like, what am I going to do with this? Like, it's not where I want it to be. And then obviously not the same woman, but the concept is that she's got the lights. She's in her home now. She's relaxed. She's got the fireplace. She's got the pictures behind her. She's kind of got everything she needs. And she's just like, yeah, I'm like carefree. Like, the lights are here. I've got it. Like, it's all kind of coming together for her. But then the 10 is where, you know, the full completion comes. The 9 is the completion within oneself. The 10 is like all your dreams come true. And so this is also in my Sacred Union Tarot. The guy and the woman and the daughter, and they're decorating their tree. It's one of my favorite cards. Love it. Page of Pentacles. Obviously, remember pages. If you watch the whole video, pages are about childlike energy. They're also about communication. So I love that she's writing here, and she's by the tree, and she's, you know, when you get the Page of Pentacles, to me, they're actually putting a message out there. They're actually communicating, and it may not be something that's, you know, in a mature manner, but they're starting out something. They're going to actually take action and communicate. Could also be a job offer too, that and Page of Wands. Maiden of Pentacles, remember maidens replace the knights. I love this because, you know, she's eating her ice cream. She's got everything, right? But she's still, you can tell she's kind of immature. You know, she doesn't have like all the bling, and not that that's necessary, but a lot of times when you see like a queen or an empress, you know, energy, they've got all of their like, you know, decor on. She's still kind of got like a simple vibe, a younger, youthful vibe, but she's like on her way, right? It seems like she's done some work. She's taken some time out, but she's actually like got a path forward. I just got that kind of vibe from her. Queen of Pentacles, though, this woman, you know, she's the head of the table. She's got her family there. They're having, you know, presumably Christmas dinner. They've got the candles. I mean, it's just like she's got everything together. It's just beautiful, beautiful energy. She's abundant. She's strong. She's grounded. She's like the mother, and she's got everything, everything around her. King of Pentacles. I thought this one was kind of funny because he looks like a Santa, and he's sitting there counting his stash. He's got his money. It looks like he's in his office and he's doing some work. So the King of Pentacles is you know, they are the hardworking. They've kind of, you know, become successful, abundant, that type of energy. So I thought that was funny. You guys you're going to love when we get to the wands, but right now, swords. Yeah, I definitely closed this deck out with a bang. All right, Swords. Swords is the energy of thought. It's thought. If you're in your head a lot, you know, you've got anxiety, you've got decisions to make. That's, you know, that's where the swords energy comes in. So Ace of Swords is like a new beginning, a start, but a lot of times you've got to like cut something off. It's like kind of a difficult, challenging start. It's like, I know I've got to take this step to go forward, but I don't want to do it. Sometimes it's clarity, epiphany coming in, but she's not happy about this. She's like, I don't want to deal with this. Like, I know this has got, I know I got to deal with it, but that's the kind of energy. And she's of course got the knife, which is like the sword. Yeah, thought it was scissors for a minute. It's a knife. Two of Swords is a crossroads. It is the energy of like, which direction am I going to go? I literally am at a crossroads. I don't know which way I'm going to go. I'm in my head. I can't decide. And what I love about this one is it's like there is a crossroads and it's covered in snow. Three of Swords is a heartbreak energy. It's heartbreak, sadness, devastation. And so to depict that energy, I chose to feature graves with wreaths because, you know, this is an energy of people missing their loved ones at the holidays. So I know, I'm sorry guys, but Three of Swords is in the deck. I have to depict it. I know it's not a happy, high vibrational type of thing, but it is there. The Four of Swords is the healing that comes after the Three of Swords, after the grief, after the heartbreak. There's healing, and I love the cat. You guys know I have 4 cats, and the little cat. I mean, he looks kind of sad, but he's hiding under the tree. He's by the present, and he's just taking a time out, chilling, relaxing, and trying to move through that Three of Swords energy. The Five of Swords is, not going to lie, one of the ugliest cards in the deck. It's an energy of a difficult lesson. It's an energy of a smiling snake, somebody, in this instance, ripping your heart out, somebody deceiving you, just something, you know, something that's like a challenge, something that's like guts you. So this one is this ice queen. They're in like the snow cave, and she literally, I mean, it's kind of a graphic image, but she took her heart out. So that is what I chose for the Five of Swords. But don't worry, once you get past the Five of Swords, you get to the Six of Swords. And the Six of Swords traditionally is depicted as moving to calmer waters. A lot of times there'll be a boat, and you can see like light at the end of the tunnel, but I love this because it's the winter scene and there's a rainbow. So you're walking through this cold, desolate energy where you've been through the heartbreak, you've been trying to heal, and you've had a painful lesson and change, and then you get here. It's like, all right, there's brighter times ahead. Well, until you get to the 7, I'm telling you, swords are, I don't love this energy, but it is the energy, you know, all these energies are present in life. We all go through it. We all experience it. And it is what it is. So 7 of Swords is, it can be about strategizing and planning, but it can also be about deception. Somebody stabbing you in the back, infidelity, a friend, betraying you, that type of thing. So I chose for this one, there's a guy walking in front of a bus or a train. It's a train. And it's like he's going to be blindsided and doesn't see it coming. If he doesn't hurry up and get out of the way. But it's like something coming at you where you're deceived. You had no idea it was coming. And you're like, whoa, what just happened? The 8 of Swords is an energy of being in a self-imposed prison. Which I guess after going through all that, you're probably going to be guarded. But I love this one because it's like he's hiding behind the string of lights, but he can easily get out. Like he feels trapped. He feels like he's in a cage, but he's done that to himself, and he can easily extricate himself from it, but it's all in his head. So that's the 8 of Swords. The 9 of Swords is, again, the 9, the solitude. It's about your self-imposed anxiety. It's your sleepless nights. It's that really like, I'm really like struggling. I'm really challenged. I'm in my head so much, right? And this is like self-sabotage too, because see, she's like passed out. She's been drinking. That's what the 9 of Swords energy is like. 10 of Swords, traditionally is, you know, somebody's like kneel down like this and they have the swords in their back. So in my Sacred Union Tarot, I almost used that image for this one, but then I decided not to use the same one. But I have somebody kneel down and they have candles burned into their back. This one, to me, it's like the Ten of Swords. It's already happened, and it's like this death energy. Like she's already been like, you know, it's whatever it was ended. She's overcome the addiction. She's already like been through it with the 10, but now she's got to rise. So that's why I chose that. Page of Swords is a communication card. For me, the Page of Swords is one that you got to look at the other cards around. Is just that it could mean cutting off communication, and it could mean sending the letter. You know, is she going to send the letter, or is she just, did she take the letter out of the box? Did she, you know, what's she going to do? What action is this person going to take? Again, page energy is immature, childlike. But here it's like probably she's going to send the letter. But again, look at the other cards around you. Maiden of Swords. Maiden of Swords is, again, takes the place of the Knight of Swords. And traditionally, the Knight of Swords is about a truth coming out. It's about moving forward. It's about time, like it's time to take action, time to go forward. For me, like here she's kind of laughing like, it's not time yet. I feel like, I mean, knights can be kind of flaky energy, but they can be decisive, at least the Knight of Swords. So the Maiden of Swords, it's like, she's just like, yeah, I'm going to do my own thing until it's time. She kind of knows, she kind of has in her head maybe when I'm going to take action, but she's not doing it until it's the right time, if that makes sense. That's why I chose that. Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords is a very like Ice Queen energy. So that's why I depicted her with the crown. She can be very cold, very cutting, but she stands in her truth and she's very strong and unwavering once she makes up her mind. King of Swords. Love this one because he's outside. He's got the axe. He's just like taking action. Like he's living his truth. Yeah, and the authentic energy. That's what I was getting. Yeah, like he's just like, he's not trying to impress anybody. He's just like, this is who I am. I'm going to speak my truth, live my truth, and he's embodying that. All right, guys, last but not least, Wands. Wands are the passionate spark, the creative energy, the taking action, right? Swords are more in your head. The cups are the emotions that you're feeling. And again, the pentacles are the finances and career. So Ace of Wands, love it because obviously she's got the reindeer antlers on, but she's holding up the wand. She's like ready to start something, ready to manifest, ready to bring something new, and it's fast energy most of the time. Two of Wands. Love Two of Wands. This can be about intentions and manifesting and going forward, bringing things, you know, kind of setting the plans. Like here, they're not really going forward yet. They're like talking, they're making the plans, and they haven't taken the action yet. Three of Wands is more putting that out there. Like now, it's like there's three people together. They're at the group, so maybe they were just talking about planning the party, right? Now they actually are having it. They're actually gathering. They're actually putting some sort of effort forth. That was like a tongue tie. I don't know. So the 2 and the 3 have sort of similar energy, but it's like one more that they're like kind of planning it, kind of like starting the steps, and then the 3 is like bringing it out to the world. 4 of Wands is a marriage card. So it's a marriage, it's commitment, it is the solid foundation. Even though it's Wands energy, it's like taking those steps to actually implement it and put it into place. 5 of Wands is a card about conflict and competition. So I thought this one was cute because there's these little elves and Santas on bikes, and they look like they're in some sort of race. And I'm telling you that this one right here, she is like out to win it. She is looking very fierce and very competitive. 6 of Wands is a victory and success card. And I think in my Sacred Union Tarot, I depicted it as a phoenix. And so I love this because it's actually supposed to be like this. But when you hold it up this way, it sort of does look like a phoenix rising towards the flame. So this is like the victory. You've moved through this conflicting energy, this conflict, the strife, and depending on whatever other cards you have, you get the Six of Wands. Like, you're getting the job offer. You're getting the person, to ask you out. You're having a successful business venture. Whatever other cards come out, Six of Wands is a very positive energy. Seven of Wands is about defensiveness. It's defensiveness, and it is being guarded. So that's why I have Santa with the gloves. Unfortunately, I mean, you can get the gist of it, but you got to turn it this way. But so he's like ready to fight. He's like, like, you're not coming in my energy. My guard is up. Eight of Wands is a communication card. So if you get a page and an Eight of Wands, you're going to get some sort of communication coming in. And it's usually pretty fast energy. It's something that's going to happen pretty quickly. And then I love this because there's actually 8 flames. Some of these I was able to pull that off. Not all of them, but I think it's always fun when that can happen. Nine of Wands is an energy of feeling overwhelmed and kind of like at your like you're on, it's like you're at the end of your rope. That's what I think of. So for me, I love this one because it's like she's walked outside. She's just like, it's like this, like, oh my God, like the vibe I got from this is like people, like her family's getting on her nerves. There's like a holiday party or something, and she had to just get outside and be in her own energy. She's at the end of her rope. She's like, I don't know how much more of this I can take. And she just takes a step back, and gets in that 9, that solitude energy, and just takes a breather for a minute. Because you don't want to get to the 10 of Wands where you're like totally overburdened, totally overwhelmed. But at the same time, once you get to the 10, it's already happened and you're spent, right? You're spent and you're just completely burnt out. And so that's why I did the candle that has burnt out, and the smoke is rising there with the 10. The Page of Wands, again, pages are the kids, and he's very excited, and he's got some news and he wants to share it. And so if, like, I saw this card, I would say definitely some sort of like some kind of news is coming in. Some big news is coming in, and it's coming in quickly. Maiden of Wands, love it. And you can see, typically the Knight of Wands, right? Which again, the Maidens are replacing the Knights. Knight of Wands is usually kind of the Casanova, the playboy, like, he's in and out of your life. He just comes for a rendezvous or whatever. And I mean, you could see like the expression on her face. She's kind of got this, yeah, I'm here for a few minutes. I'm here for a few minutes energy, but then I'm out. I'm out the door. I'm not staying. You might think I'm staying, but yeah, like she doesn't have like her bags, like, her staying, like it's just like very much like transient energy. Like I'm out. Okay. The last two, Queen and King of Wands. Queen of Wands is all about confidence, fierceness, fire, passion. They're extroverted, and they're outgoing, and they're fun. And so I just love this image of this woman with her Christmas tree, and she's like blowing a kiss because she's like all into that, that fire, that passionate energy. And so I had to do the counterpart, right, for the King of Wands. And so we've got Mr. Santa here, and he's buff Santa, and he's got a bunch of goodies in his bag, and he's like, oh yeah, like, all playful, like, so this had definitely like more of like a sexual vibe, a passionate vibe, a confident, I mean, so somebody's got to be confident, right, if they're going to walk around without their shirt on, but just that passionate, fun, vibrant, extroverted, I keep wanting to say Sagittarius energy because that's what it is, right? But I thought that I wanted to end it because some of the images in the deck, as you guys know, some of them were kind of harsh, and that's how they are. That's what the energy is. But I thought some of these that have the more silly vibe might help balance it out. So that is it. That is the Christmas tarot. I hope you guys liked it. I would love to hear your feedback, see what your favorite cards are, and see if you have any ideas, like I said, for other ones. I do have kind of some ideas in the works about maybe doing a Halloween one, something like that would be a lot of fun. So let me know. And again, if you would like to buy this deck, that information is down below. Contact me directly to purchase it 10% off, or you can purchase it from the Make Playing Card site. So I hope you guys love that, and I hope you have a Merry Christmas. Take care.